Hi, I'm Martha McNeil, and in part 2 of our 3-part series on how to overcome fear, we are going to focus on self-evaluation. One of the first things you want to do is to define your equestrian goals. Why do you ride? What do you want to do with your horse this year? Start by determining what you are comfortable with. Haltering, grooming, lunging, tacking up, or what are you not comfortable with? Mounting, riding, letting your horse rub on you. The goal is to define your comfort zone and then to gradually enlarge it.
One of the things that I often do is what I call pendulum teaching, and that is I raise the bar often so that when we come back to the norm spectrum, they feel very comfortable. But in this case, we were trying to work on cantering, so one of the few ways that I can raise the bar is to take away some of her aids. And anytime you're ready, release your hand. One of the things that this helps us to do is now when she canters at normal speed, normal rate, she's going to have a lot more confidence because she's already found a balance in her back for one. She found the balance zone, and it's going to be just easier for her to put it all together.
Good risks may increase fear, but can be opportunities for growth. But good risks have a low possibility of actual physical injury. Bad risks increase your fear level and have a much higher possibility of actual physical injury.
There's a wide spectrum of fear on the low end of rest, sleeping, very little anxiety. On the high end, all of a sudden you start becoming dysfunctional.
You need to get to know your body's fear response. When you're afraid, where do you feel it in your body?
Mainly what happens is my body starts getting really rigid, and I think I pass that on to the horse. I don't breathe, I start kind of hold my breath.
The Fear Arousal Scale is a very practical tool for helping you to communicate with yourself, with your horse, and with your instructor. From 1 to 4, you're comfortable, you're not learning anything, you're not growing, you're not stretching, you're not learning anything new, but it's a good place to come back to. If you want to actually learn a new skill, you need to get your fear arousal level up to a 5 to 7. 5 to 7 is the learning zone, and that's where you're being challenged, you're interested, you're kind of on edge, but you're comfortable enough to be actually learning. If you get up to an 8, a 9, or a 10, your fear level is so high that you cannot learn anything. At that point, the senses begin to shut down, you stop hearing, you stop seeing, you stop taking in external information, and you begin to just shut down. And at 10, you are actually in a blind panic and have an actual fear of dying. If you ever get up to an 8 or a 9, you need to immediately let your riding instructor know that you're too frightened to continue and stop and dial it back down to a level where you're back into the 5, 6, or 7 zone.
It's important to have repeated safe experiences, especially good experiences in the learning zone where your anxiety is slightly there and not elevated.
One of the most important things is to evaluate the horse that you're riding. Many fearful riders are overhorsed. It means their horse is too much for them and they intuitively know it but don't know what to do about it. If you think this is the case, you should get help from a trusted professional who can help you honestly evaluate if your horse is a good partner for you or not. Coming up in part 3, putting it all together for success.